The last abortion provider in Greater Cincinnati takes the state of Ohio's health director to court in an effort to keep the clinic open.
Planned Parenthood of Southwest Ohio says a new state law unconstitutionally targets abortion providers. Local 12 News reporter Jeff Hirsh joins us with more on this emotional and a long-running battle. Jeff?
Well, good evening. Last month, the state health director cited the local Planned Parenthood clinic in Mount Auburn for not having what's called a hospital transfer agreement. I'll explain that in a second. But that situation is the first potential step towards closing the clinic down. But Planned Parenthood says state lawmakers violated the U.S. Constitution when they imposed the new regulation. For years, anti-abortion protesters have wanted the Planned Parenthood facility in Mount Auburn to close. A state legislative maneuver could make that happen, but Planned Parenthood is fighting back. In a lawsuit against the state of Ohio health director, Planned Parenthood says a state regulation which could shut abortion clinics is unconstitutional and should be thrown out. The Planned Parenthood lawsuit outlines what could be seen as sort of a catch-22 situation in state law. On the one hand, that law requires abortion clinics to have transfer agreements with local hospitals in case something goes wrong, in case there's an emergency, you take the patient to the hospital. But simultaneously, the state is also banning those transfer agreements with public hospitals. So in a sense, this place is being told to do something that it can't do. Planned Parenthood says it used to have a transfer agreement with a public hospital, UC, until the state banned public hospital transfers last year. And most other area hospitals are Catholic and will not have anything to do with abortion providers. Planned Parenthood says its lawsuit, quote, challenges Ohio's continuing assault on the rights of women to exercise reproductive freedom. But the director of Cincinnati Right to Life says the transfer rule is fair.
Well, women have every right to exercise their reproductive freedom. This is to ensure that those abortion-providing ambulatory surgical facilities are providing health care according to medical safety standards. Now, these people say they're for women's health, but they're continually arguing for getting around the law that other ambulatory surgical facilities do not do. They are able to maintain a higher standard of health. If they're for women's health, then they should support these requirements.
The lawsuit, however, says the transfer regulation is political, not medical, and is simply designed to reduce access to abortion. Representatives of Planned Parenthood did not want to go on camera. The federal lawsuit puts state efforts to close the clinic on hold as the federal case proceeds. The suit will be heard by Judge Tim Black, one of the more liberal judges on the local federal bench. Safe to say whatever he decides will be appealed to the 6th Circuit Court of Appeals here in Cincinnati, and then perhaps, who knows, to the U.S. Supreme Court. Back to you.
Jeff, thanks a lot. If the Planned Parenthood clinic does close, Cincinnati would be the largest metropolitan area in the entire country without an abortion provider.